Userkare, the phantom pharaoh of ancient Egypt, the enigmatic pharaoh. In the annals of ancient Egypt, a land of mystique and grandeur, there lies a figure shrouded in mystery, Pharaoh Userkare. His reign, brief and shadowy, is like a whisper lost in the sands of time. Unlike the illustrious rulers who left behind grand pyramids and monumental inscriptions, Userkare's legacy is elusive, almost like a ghost haunting the corridors of history. His story, though sparse in records, offers a tantalizing glimpse into a period of uncertainty and intrigue in the Old Kingdom. The early life and rise to power, the path of shadows. Little is known about Userkare's early life, which adds to the aura of mystery surrounding him. The records are sparse, the inscriptions faint, leaving historians to piece together fragments of a life that seems almost forgotten. Was he born into royalty, or did he rise from the shadows, seizing an opportunity that others might have overlooked? The questions linger, unanswered but endlessly fascinating. The circumstances of his ascension to the throne are equally murky. Userkare's name appears briefly in the king lists, wedged between Teti, the founder of the 6th dynasty, and the young Pepi I. This placement suggests a period of instability, perhaps a power vacuum or a fierce struggle for control. Some whisper that he was a usurper, a cunning figure who saw an opportunity in the chaos that followed Teti's untimely death. Others speculate he might have been a regent, a caretaker for a kingdom waiting for its rightful heir to come of age. Yet, the truth remains cloaked in the shadows of antiquity. Reign and policies, a silent legacy. Userkare's reign, believed to have lasted only a few short years, is marked by an eerie silence. There are no grand pyramids bearing his name, no towering statues, no lavish temples. It's as if his time as pharaoh was a brief interlude, a pause in the grand symphony of the Old Kingdom. This absence of monumental architecture is puzzling, especially in an era known for its grandiose construction projects. What was Userkare doing during his time on the throne? The records we have suggest a period of cautious administration. Inscriptions and seals bearing his name indicate that the wheels of bureaucracy continued to turn, albeit quietly. Perhaps he was a ruler more concerned with maintaining stability than leaving a mark in stone. Or maybe he simply didn't have the time or resources to embark on ambitious projects. The lack of grand constructions also hints at potential challenges to his authority. In ancient Egypt, the ability to commission massive building projects was a clear sign of a pharaoh's power and divine favor. Userkare's failure to do so might indicate internal strife, opposition from powerful factions within the court, or even external threats. The absence of a pyramid or other significant markers of his reign suggest that Userkare's time as pharaoh was anything but stable. Theories on Userkare's downfall, a vanishing act. The end of Userkare's reign is as enigmatic as its beginning. His name disappears from the records, leaving behind a trail of speculation and mystery. Some believe he was overthrown, possibly by forces loyal to the young Pepi I, who sought to restore the rightful line of succession. The theory of a palace coup is compelling, especially given the quick transition to Pepi I's rule and the subsequent erasure of Userkare's name from many records. Was Userkare seen as a usurper, his reign an aberration in the eyes of his successors? The practice of damnatio memoriae, where a ruler's name and achievements are deliberately erased from history, suggests he may have been viewed as illegitimate or even a threat. This systematic erasure would explain the scarcity of information about his reign and the almost ghostly presence he holds in the annals of Egyptian history. Alternatively, Userkare might have met a more mundane end, succumbing to natural causes or simply stepping aside. But even if his departure was peaceful, the lack of a significant legacy indicates that his rule was not celebrated or remembered with honor. The ancient Egyptians placed great importance on the memory of their rulers, believing that to be forgotten was a fate worse than death. In this context, Userkare's near erasure from history speaks volumes about how his successors viewed his reign. Socio-political context, the tide of change. The period of Userkare's reign, the late 5th and early 6th dynasties, was a time of transition and turmoil in Egypt. The Old Kingdom, often referred to as the Age of the Pyramids, was experiencing changes that would eventually lead to its decline. The centralized power of the pharaohs was beginning to wane, with regional governors, nomarchs, gaining more influence and autonomy. This decentralization weakened the central authority and created a fertile ground for power struggles. In this context, Userkare's rise to power could be seen as a symptom of the broader instability of the period. The fact that his reign is so poorly documented might indicate that it was not widely recognized or legitimized. It's possible that Userkare was a figurehead placed on the throne by a powerful faction within the court, a pawn in a larger game of political chess. Alternatively, he might have been an opportunist who capitalized on a moment of weakness, attempting to establish his own legacy amidst the chaos. The role of religion, divine kingship, and its challenges. Religion played a central role in ancient Egyptian society, particularly in the concept of divine kingship. Pharaohs were seen as gods on earth, intermediaries between the gods and the people, and their legitimacy was often tied to their ability to maintain Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance, and cosmic order. For Userkare, the lack of monumental religious architecture or major religious decrees suggests that he may not have had strong support from the priesthood, or that his reign was too brief to establish such connections. The absence of religious monuments bearing his name also points to a possible disconnection from the divine mandate that was crucial for a pharaoh's legitimacy. This could have made it easier for his successors to erase his memory, framing his reign as an aberration or even an offense against the gods. The human element, a pharaoh's personal struggles. Amidst the political and religious complexities, it's essential to remember the human aspect of Userkare's story. Like any leader, he would have faced personal challenges, decisions that weighed heavily on his conscience, and the constant pressure of leadership in uncertain times. The scarcity of information about his life leaves us to speculate about the man behind the title. Did Userkare ever feel the burden of the crown, knowing that his name might not be remembered alongside the great builders and warriors of Egypt's past? Was he a man of ambition, or was he thrust into a role he neither sought nor desired? These questions remind us that history, while often focused on grand narratives and monumental events, is also about individuals, about their choices, their fears, and their dreams. Legacy and reflections, a lesson in historical memory. Userkare's near erasure from history offers a poignant lesson in the politics of memory and the impermanence of power. His story is a stark reminder that history is often written by the victors, and that the legacies of even the most powerful individuals can be fragile, subject to the whims of those who come after them. In modern times, the figure of Userkare challenges us to think critically about how we remember the past. His story encourages a broader reflection on the nature of power, legitimacy, and memory. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of forgetting and the importance of preserving diverse perspectives in our understanding of history. For Egyptologists and historians, Userkare represents both a mystery and a challenge. His reign, though obscure, is a vital piece of the puzzle of Egypt's Old Kingdom, a period that laid the foundations for one of the most enduring civilizations in human history. The search for more information about Userkare continues, driven by the hope that new discoveries might one day shed light on this enigmatic ruler. Conclusion. The eternal enigma. Userkare remains an eternal enigma, a shadowy figure whose life and reign defy easy categorization. His story, or the lack thereof, serves as a reminder of the transient nature of power and the fragility of memory. In a civilization that built for eternity, his near erasure is a stark contrast, a reminder that even the mightiest can be forgotten. Yet, in this forgetting there is also a form of immortality. As long as there are those who seek to uncover the past, who delve into the mysteries of ancient Egypt, Userkare's name will continue to be spoken, his story pondered. He may be a minor figure in the grand tapestry of history, but his enigma ensures that he is not entirely lost to the ages. In the end, Userkare's story is not just about a forgotten pharaoh, but about the nature of history itself. It challenges us to think about how we remember the past, what we choose to record, and what we allow to fade into obscurity. It reminds us that history is not a fixed narrative, but a living tapestry, constantly being rewritten and reinterpreted. And in that tapestry, even the smallest, most elusive threads can hold great significance. As we ponder the mystery of Userkare, let us also reflect on the broader lessons his story offers. Let us remember that history is as much about the forgotten as the remembered, the obscure as the illustrious. In the quiet, shadowy corners of the past, we often find the most intriguing stories, stories that challenge us to look beyond the surface and seek the deeper truths that lie beneath. Userkare's legacy, though faint, serves as a beacon for those who seek to understand the complexities of human history and the ever-shifting sands of memory and power.